Surprisingly, WWE SmackDown has been the weaker of the two shows since the new season commenced. This could be rectified with a whole bunch of surprises, as will be illustrated in this video. WWE SmackDown needs to make us care about the current cast of characters, which many believe pales compared to the current Raw roster. Some say that if you take out Drew McIntyre, there's nobody to challenge Roman Reigns. In comparison, Raw ended with a spectacular ladder match, setting up Seth Rollins vs Big E. So, here are 5 possible surprises that could happen on WWE SmackDown this week. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and view on the same in the comments. Number 5, WWE SmackDown sets up the Survivor Series main event. Xavier Woods is the talk of the WWE SmackDown brand as the new king of the ring. Could the Bloodline feel like he's taking up too much time and beat down him and Kofi Kingston? Then Big E, who's in the backstage area, could come out to make the save. With Brock Lesnar gone from the roster with a storyline suspension, this is something that needs to happen. One has to remember that the next big event is Survivor Series, and the marquee attraction will be Big E vs Roman Reigns, that is unless Seth Rollins can steal the title in time to set up a fight between the two Shield brothers. This would ensure that Roman Reigns also shows up on WWE Raw at times to boost ratings. The back and forth could happen for a while until Survivor Series happens and the two rosters are set in stone. Big E vs Roman Reigns is a tough one to predict because of how both men have been booked thus far. Number 4, Elias shows up to WWE SmackDown as an authority figure. Elias wasn't drafted into either WWE SmackDown or Raw, making us wonder what was next for this talented superstar. Is he being packaged into an authority figure, maybe to replace Adam Pearce, who suffered the brunt of Brock Lesnar last week? A short stint as a WWE SmackDown authority figure would do a world of good for Elias, and maybe even set him up for a significant in-ring return down the line. If he shows up as a babyface, he could have disagreements with Sonya Deville, setting her up as a complete heel. Number 3, Sheamus turns face and confronts Roman Reigns. Could the newest member of the WWE SmackDown roster turn face and come out to confront Roman Reigns for yet another encounter? This time the WWE Universal Championship could be on the line. Even if Sheamus comes up short, as he probably will, this feud could garner fans' attention to the blue brand. Number 2, a WWE SmackDown star unexpectedly turns heel and attacks Nakamura. The entertaining WWE SmackDown pairing of Rick Boogs and Nakamura may have run its course. Now that Elias is no longer a guitar wielder, could we see Boogs destroy Nakamura with his own? Yes, we've seen many acoustic guitars destroyed on WWE SmackDown and Raw, but this could be the first time for an electric guitar to join the fray. Boogs could then throw his hat in the ring with Happy Corbin and challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Number 1, Hit Row and the Bloodline come face to face. Roman Reigns and the Usos rule the roost on WWE SmackDown. Now that Hit Row is a part of the brand, the chances are that these two alpha factions will square off. The feud could happen as early as this Friday and set up a storyline for the upcoming weeks. Since BFAB is a part of the WWE SmackDown roster, this pairing might lead to Naomi becoming a part of the Bloodline. Adam Pearce has finally broken his silence after Brock Lesnar brutally attacked him on last week's episode of WWE SmackDown. Lesnar wasn't in a good mood after his defeat at WWE Crown Jewel. On Friday, he attacked Roman Reigns, the Usos, several WWE superstars, and various personnel. Adam Pearce didn't take these actions lightly, as he suspended the former champion indefinitely. The Beast Incarnate retaliated with brute force and hit Pearce with 2 devastating F5s. Adam Pearce has now finally posted his reaction to getting mauled by Brock Lesnar on SmackDown. Suspended indefinitely, wrote Pearce. Bend but never break. Never forget. It took the collective might of Roman Reigns and the Usos to put Brock Lesnar down at Crown Jewel. As a result of his cousin's interference, Reigns was able to pin Lesnar and retain his title. Brock Lesnar was subsequently seen smiling as he left the arena on October 21st. That being said, he made it clear that he was going to punish Reigns on SmackDown. On SmackDown, Brock Lesnar launched a vicious attack on Reigns. The Usos intervened and paid quite a hefty price for their efforts. It goes without saying that Reigns and Lesnar are going to battle again at some point down the line. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns aren't exactly strangers. These two powerhouses have faced each other on various occasions over the years. Lesnar's first encounter with the Tribal Chief came in the main event of WrestleMania 31. Both men failed to walk out of the stadium with the top title in their hands, courtesy of a shocking Money in the Bank cash-in by Seth Rollins. Reigns and Lesnar faced off at WrestleMania 34 as well, with the latter coming out victorious this time around. Reigns later defeated Brock Lesnar to become Universal Champion at SummerSlam 2018, but his reign was cut short due to his battle with leukemia. Moving forward, Brock Lesnar is determined to become the Universal Champion again. Adam Pearce suffered his wrath on SmackDown, and the destruction is bound to continue until Lesnar gets another shot at Reigns. Former Mr. Money in the Bank Baron Corbin, now known as Happy Corbin, has teased his goal to become Universal Champion Roman Reigns' next challenger. WWE on Fox Twitter account asked the WWE Universe as to who should be next for Reigns. The Universal Champion has smashed everyone and Brock Lesnar is suspended, so the Tribal Chief needs a new challenger. In response, Corbin posted a short clip of Kong from the 2017 movie, Kong Skull Island, hinting that he wants to challenge the Universal Champion. Happy Corbin is currently part of the roster of Friday Night SmackDown, where he has formed an alliance with Madcap Moss. Time will tell whether he steps up and faces Reigns in the coming weeks. Roman Reigns has been in a highly entertaining feud against arch-rival Brock Lesnar since the latter's return at WWE SummerSlam 2021. The two heavyweights faced each other at WWE Crown Jewel 2021, and the head of the table managed to retain his title due to some outside interference from the Usos. According to recent reports, WWE is planning to build Roman Reigns up as the greatest champion of all time. Vince McMahon also wants Reigns to beat Brock Lesnar's record for the longest Universal title reign, 504 days. The Tribal Chief has held the title for 420 days now, so the Beast Incarnate's record is within his reach. As for Brock Lesnar, he got suspended on last week's episode of SmackDown, where he furiously attacked on-screen official Adam Pearce. Reports suggest that this development is meant to keep Lesnar off television for a while before he returns next year to resume his feud with Reigns. The two stars could potentially clash in a buzz-worthy bout at WrestleMania 38. What do you think about Corbin's tease about facing Reigns? Sound off below. Former WWE Champion Bray Wyatt has just made his clearest tease yet regarding his possible return to professional wrestling. As AEW Dynamite rolls along, Wyatt took the opportunity to make two very interesting tweets, claiming that he would be creating something soon, and even giving a timeline. It makes me happy to see my brother do something that makes him happy. He inspires me to create, and create I shall. He then followed up this tweet with this, a much more ominous, yet very clear one: 2 more days Bray Wyatt. The next 2 days will mark the end of Bray Wyatt's 90-day non-compete clause with WWE, following his release from the company in July. It also falls on a Friday, meaning that Wyatt could conceivably debut on either AEW Rampage or WWE SmackDown. As mentioned earlier, this is one of the most straightforward comments that Bray Wyatt has made regarding his future in wrestling. AEW and WWE fans have heard very few statements from Bray Wyatt himself, however. This isn't the first cryptic tweet that Wyatt has made this month. Back on October 15th, Wyatt took to social media to share a photo of himself from WrestleMania 37, calling his fans baby birds and saying he would feed them soon, along with using the hashtag #CultOfWyndham, which many fans have speculated could be the new name of Wyatt's faction when he returns. Don't worry, I'll feed you baby birds. #CultOfWyndham. There have been multiple reports as to why Bray Wyatt was released from WWE, despite being one of WWE's most interesting, layered, and talked about characters on television. In an initial report by Dave Meltzer, Wyatt was supposedly notified by WWE Talent Relations executive, John Laurinaitis, that the release from the WWE was due to budget cuts. This seemed to be consistent with other releases that were taking place at that time. However, the narrative has changed significantly since then, as it seems backstage issues between Wyatt and WWE management and other superstars may have been a large contributing factor. Andrew Zarian spoke about the controversial circumstances surrounding Wyatt's release earlier this month. Zarian reported that the former leader of the Wyatt family was being difficult, and that the company brought up concerns about his weight with the superstar. Bray was being difficult, and I'm gonna fill in a lot. I'm not even gonna quote, because I have the quote, but I don't wanna quote it. He was a little difficult, he had some performance issues in the ring, and he had some weight issues. I'm not saying that that's the reason, I'm not gonna say that's the reason, but you can kind of piece things together. When you evaluate a talent, and you're like, okay, we need this, and we need that, and this is the plan moving forward. You need someone. Sometimes the decision is easier to make if you make it more difficult for them to make that decision, said Andrew Zarian. Where do you think Bray Wyatt is going to end up? Is there any chance that he returns to WWE? Or will Wyatt start a new chapter in his career in All Elite Wrestling? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.